So in the MVC pattern, so there will be model view controller. Model is the database. View is the whatever I am seeing, and controller will be, it will control the data from the model and it will populate it in the view. So as that is one of the architecture as a model view. So Django is completely works on the model view template. So controller will be completely handled by the framework. So means we are not need to worry about fetching the data from the database, and we need to populate it in the view and all. So because uh, in the MVT template, MVT means model view templates. So I think we have seen here. So when we created a project, so this is the basic project files. That is the main configuration files we get it. So in the module app, so whatever we created the module app, so there we have seen the views and then the models. So models here, we are going to create the models. So this is Python is completely a ORM related. ORM is a object relationship modeling. So anybody aware of that object relationship modeling?
No, I didn't.
Uh,
Object relationship management. No.
ORM, that is a relationship model. It means that there is no any scripting, SQL scripts. There is no any database queries. Okay, you just create a class, and that class is like a table. You just need to fetch by calling the methods. So you any complex queries also you will not able you not required to write the query. So how you handle the class and object in the same way we have to handle it. So in the inside it will take the query part and everything inside the Django itself. Here, if they give something, we'll see. So Django, there is a design philosophy is like a loosely coupled. They say like we completely separate the independent models. So how we what we seen in the last class to create the models like so that's why they are calling it as loosely coupled and less coding they are telling. So less coding means so there is not any much requirement of coding development. So because as we are using the library framework, so there is already built in a lot of rich libraries are there. So we just need to use it. Also, we know the Python how much simplest programming languages. So that's why they call it as a less code. So in turn, you can quick development. Don't repeat yourself. DRY. So it means that there is not required to redevelop it. If someone is already developed the login module, registration module, so it is not necessary to everybody to redevelop the code log for the login, registration, and everything. Not only like that, so there is a lot of so many functions will come. So for example, sorting, searching. So like that, if already code is there, why should we code it again for us? So like that, so in the Python Django, uh, we have a lot of inbuilt libraries. So that's why they call it as don't repeat yourself. Fast development and clean design. So it will be having a proper structure in the coding also. So that's why clean design. So advantages means, so this is the object relationship model mapping. Sorry, ORM. Okay, ORM means I think we have used in C Sharp also. It is there currently in recent frameworks. In Node.js also it is there. So in so many frameworks, their concept is there, ORM concepts. So here we don't write any queries. So it will completely works on the object relationship. Means we create a class for the table, and we when we create an object, so it means that one row is created. So if you want to fetch the row, so we just get the object from the table. So it will be like that. So when we start working, so you will be understand that better. So now you just only keep in the mind. So it's a object relationship mapping is the one advantage. So this is multilingual support. So multilingual means it is a language means. So when you are developing the application, so you can develop for many international languages. So on this framework supports inbuilt Ajax, RSS, and caching, everything it supports. So administration GUI. So it gives a default administration GUI. So whatever yesterday, if you run that application, I will show that.
Plugins.
So this is the main website. So if you go for this slash admin, so we get the administration login. So it is asking for the migrations. So I will do and I will show it now only first. Let me complete the migration part also. So migration means nothing but, so there is a migration fold in each app. We get the migrations fold. So migration means nothing. So we are going to whatever the models we create in the class. So that class will be going to create in the database. It will create the tables and it will create the columns, tables, columns, and if there is any data also, it will insert the default values, everything it will insert. Even if we change the database, we need to do the migration. So whatever you change the table, so inside this model.py, so we need to migrate. So as also along with this, when we create a first time, when we create a project first time, so there is a lot of inbuilt means, so these Django itself maintain the login sessions and user management. Users, they by default they will give the login management and user management and all those things. So for that user and login management, so we need the tables. So for that first time, so when you create the project, first you need to make the python manage.py make migration, make migrations. So just remember the command. Otherwise you can search and you can get it. First we need to do the make migrations. Then only we need to one more command, that is the migrate. So let's see. So when the python manage.py space make migrations, so there is no changes is been detected, means there is no any in the model, there is no any change inside. It is already there. So that's why it is showing like that. So after make migration, we need to run the migrate. So then now you can able to see applying. So these are all the tables which is going to, which is created. Okay, these are all the tables has been used from the Python by itself. So now I will run the application again. So if I open the /admin, okay, I'll spell this time. So this is an administration login. So administration login means, so if you develop any web application, there is usually there will be super admin login will be there. For that application, you should have the super administration login, and he can able to change the any status. If you want to make any changes, he can able to log in and he can able to see. So those kind of one level administration login also, by default it will come. You are not required to develop it anything. So there is no any admin login. So now I will just create one admin login now. Python manage.py create super user. Okay, there is no space. So then it will ask the user. I just give the admin and then the email, password, admin, create 123. So I need to repeat the password. Yes. So I have created the super admin. Now I will run the application and I will log into the admin. Okay, I created admin. Create 123. So this is the administration login. So it will maintain the sessions and everything it will maintain. And there is a two tables are there, and one is the users table and one is the groups table. So users table is the first one which we have just created. So this is the admin. So and this is the basic user table which will maintain from the uh, this framework, Django framework itself. So we can able to see this password is completely encrypted. So we can't able to see anybody's password also. So this is so that's why they say Python is very secured application to develop it. So if you want to change this, you can only change this password, but you can't able to see anybody's password. So by using this forum, so we can set a new password. We can change the password after login to the administration. And this is one more, this is like a groups. So group means, so there is a authorization. When we do the authorization, for that it will come. So that one we'll see later. So now you just need to understand. So there is this kind of administration web login will be by default it will come. So we can change this template however we want. We can develop it, not an issue. So but they by default they will give these many things. So we can use it as a admin. In the admin there is not a problem if we have this much of options. So also if you want to develop this much of login and this administration everything, so it takes a lot of time. Right, Arun?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think if you develop any web application, there should be always super admin, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
where you will
I
see the users and some analytics data, how many users are there. So everything there should be a admin login. So this admin login will be given by the Django itself. We can use this one also. Otherwise, we are not required to use this. We can completely develop it from scratch also. So for my application, actually, I am using that which I told you one Finic, right? So for that application, I am using as an administration login. I am using it. Okay. So this is the advantage they are telling. Administration GUI. Django provides a nice, ready-to-use user interface for the administrative activities. So even every application, web application will be having the administration activities. So those things will come up with the default. So whatever the tables we create, everything will come in the administration page. so that whatever the table we want to make any changes, we can do it in the GUI itself. So development environment. Django comes with the lightweight web server to facilitate end-to-end application development and testing. So it means that so whatever we are running the application, so it is not in the any Apache or any Nginx or any other servers. So there is a ASCII one server will be by default from the Django itself. One server will lightweight server will be there. So when we just run the command run server, so it automatically runs the application. So these are the main feature of this whatever we are going to learn. So any doubts in this? So if you have anybody who understand the concept, oh,
No, sir.
No, no, sir, no, sir.
ah,
Yes.
tell me. Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. She asked something. I think I thought. Okay, so these are the advantages. ORM also we have understand this object relationship mapping, not modeling. So it's a mapping. Okay, here it is there. As I told you, so it is a MET. I think here they have given. Here they have not given that. So this is a model view templates. So model view templates means model view controller. I think everybody understand that. So there is a model, and it means the database, and it will in the controller it will fetch the data and it will populate in the view. So we are not required if any data is changed in the model, automatically the view will be updated. Like that, model view controller will work. So that is one kind of pattern, or we can say that is one kind of architecture. So here we use the model view templates. So this is the model and this is the view. There is no any controller, but controller will be handled by the Django itself. So when we just need to fetch the data from the models, so and we need to send it in the views. So but when we are sent to the views, so we need to return that we need to return the value from the views as a HTML template. We will see an example diagram. This is the best one. Okay, image is only like that. Okay, so able to see, right? So this is the model and this is the view file, and this is like a model file only, and there is a URL patterns. So URLs we can see. So this is there in the main project urls.py. Okay, so here we create the roots. Roots means so after that main base URL, so what it should be there. So for example, /admin. So for /admin, so there is a method should be there. So this /admin has been already developed by the Django. So that's why they have added this controller. So controller means so that is one class implementation. Okay, like this. So this is the URL. Okay, so from this URL, So the request will goes to views. So it means that it will call the view methods. So whatever has been implemented in the views, so it will call this inside this method. So after URL, that views will call. So what views will do? So it will communicate with the model class, and whatever the data it want to insert, or whatever the data it want to fetch it. So this will call this model.py file, and it will fetch the data, and it will return through the template. So it will, because it is returning to the web browser, right? So I am web application, we should use, we can only see it in the web browser. So web browser should be uh, capable of only loading the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So this template means, so it contains the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files, static files. So whatever the HTML files we are rendering to the browser, so that HTML files, along with that, it contains the data. So whatever it is fetched from the model, that data has been added as a context in the templates, and it will return that template to the browser. So then we can see the data from the, we can see the complete view in the browser. So that's why we call it as a model view template. So all the models will be defined in the models.py, and all the views will be defined in the views.py. So and the templates are the complete HTML files. So that HTML files we will represented in the templates folder. So templates folder is not there currently. So we need to create a template folder inside this polls app, and we need to put the static index or whatever the HTML, CSS files. So that we will see later. So how to create the templates and all. So urls.py, which is we are going to create the URL. So URL means, so now I am just created this. So for example, if I want to create a login page, so login is one of the URL. So once I run this login, so the request will go to the URL. So here I need to define the login URL. So in the same way, I need to set the path. Instead of admin, I should mention login. Okay, so like this, we need to create the different URLs. So once I create the login, so the login page will be should load here. So as we are not defining the templates, so that's why it is showing URLs is not found admin. So once we completely added the view page and everything, so the templates will be load the login page. So what I am saying, so we need to create the router like this first in the urls.py. Okay, so getting started means it's already we have done that. So just to create the virtual environment, and by using the pip to install the Python package. Not Python package, to install the Django framework. So these are all we have done already, and we are started already using the uh, Python framework itself. Okay, creating a project and creating the app is also completed. So before going to Django views, so first I will show database part. So now we are using the SQLite 3. So now just I will use the MySQL. So we'll see how to use the MySQL. I think everyone aware of this MySQL, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm just going to use the MySQL instead of SQLite. So it's we can in this Django we can use any of the uh, database. It's not mandatory like we can only use SQLite or MySQL or anything. So we can use any database, but just by configuring here in the settings.py. We are not required to change any of the queries or any of the scripts inside the programming. So because we are using the object relationship modeling, so whatever we work only with the class and object oriented. So now I just running the MySQL. So I just open the MySQL workbench. Okay, these are all database which is there. So I will just create a one new database.